Good morning. Welcome. Happy Sunday. I hope you are well today. West Tennessee Dave here with you, live to you from Twitch at 6:33 in the morning Central Time in the US. Hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome. And if I see you later on a VOD, whether on Twitch or on YouTube, hello and welcome. Good morning. Good morning, Asibla. Hi. I hope you are having a good weekend with the ladies. Maybe you're back home. Maybe you're flying home today. Maybe you're just having a good time, and it's good to see you. Welcome. Okay, today we are going to read the rest of the book of Joshua today because we're going to do a lot of skipping. So, uh, just a quick recap. Joshua is the phase after Moses. He's the leader after Moses, and they have come in and they have done some battles and had some pretty miraculous events of their own to take some certain cities. They've had some failures along the way as well. And now the time has come where most of the land is getting distributed to the different tribes that are left. And as just a general thing, 2.5 tribes had gotten their allotment of land on the east side of the Jordan River. The rest of them are getting it on the west side of the Jordan River, and that's what's happening today. We're going to just kind of skip over the majority of that section. I'll just highlight it that they got land in different areas. It's not really story time, but we will tell a little bit of the story as we go. So, with that said, let's move on. So, we're going to skip quite a bit of just the recap of all the kings that they destroyed in the land of Canaan and the ones east of the Jordan River. And then Moses starts giving land out. And he's reminding people that the ones east of the Jordan River already have theirs. The tribe of Levi doesn't get any land because their allotment is the Lord. And now he's given out some to Reuben and some to Gad. And the half tribe of Manasseh, those are the ones east of the Jordan River. And then he starts dividing the land on the west side. So here we go. A delegation from the tribe of Judah, led by Caleb, son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, came to Joshua at Gilgal. Caleb said to Joshua, "Remember what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, about you and me when we were at Kadesh Barnea? I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to explore the land of Canaan. I returned and gave an honest report. My brothers, who went with me, frightened the people from entering the promised land. For my part, I wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. So that day Moses solemnly promised me the land of Canaan in which you were just walking will be your grant of land and that of your descendants forever, because you wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. Now, as you can see, the Lord has kept me alive and well, as he promised, for all these 40 years since Moses made this promise, even while Israel wandered in the wilderness. Today, I am 85 years old. I am as strong now as I was when Moses sent me on that journey. I can still travel and fight as well as I could then. So give me the hill country that the Lord promised me. You will remember that as scouts we found the descendants of Anak living there in great walled towns. But if the Lord is with me, I will drive them out of the land, just as the Lord said." So Joshua blessed Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and gave Hebron to him as his portion of land. Hebron still belongs to the descendants of Caleb, son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, because he wholeheartedly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Previously, Hebron had been called Kiriath Arba. It had been named after Arba, a great hero of the descendants of Anak. And the land had rest from war. All right, so now Judah gets its land. And then Caleb gets his land. Let's read this part about Caleb. The Lord commanded Joshua to assign some of Judah's territory to Caleb, son of Jephunneh. So Caleb was given the town of Kiriath Arba. that is Hebron, which had been named after Anak's ancestor. Caleb drove out 3 groups of Anakites, the descendants of Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai, the sons of Anak. From there he went to fight against the people living in the town of Debir, formerly called Kiriath Sephir. Caleb said, I will give my daughter Akash in marriage to the one who attacks and captures Kiriath Sephir. Othniel, son of Caleb's brother Kenaz, was the one who conquered it. So Iksa became Othniel's wife. When Iksa married Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for a field. As she got down off her donkey, Caleb asked her, What's the matter? She said, Give me another gift. You have already given me the land in the Negev. Now, please, give me springs of water too. So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. All right, then the towns of Judah were established. Land that was given to Ephraim and Manasseh west of the Euphrates River. We have the rest of the allotments of land to Benjamin, Simeon, Zebulun, Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, to Dan, and then Joshua gets his land. And then they set up the cities of refuge. The different towns for the Levites in all the different lands were set up. And now the people start to settle in their places. So we get to this place. And Joshua called together the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. He told them, You have done as Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded you, and you have obeyed every order I have given you. During all this time you have not deserted the other tribes. You have been careful to obey the commands of the Lord your God right up to the present day. And now the Lord your God has given the other tribes rest, as he promised them. So go back home to the land that Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you as your possession on the east side of the Jordan River. But be very careful to obey all the commands and the instructions that Moses gave to you. Love the Lord your God, walk in all his ways, obey his commands, hold firmly to him, and serve him with all your heart and all your soul. So Joshua blessed them and sent them away, and they went home. Moses had given the land of Bashan, east of the Jordan River, to the half-tribe of Manasseh. The other half of the tribe was given land west of the Jordan. As Joshua sent them away and blessed them, he said to them, Go back to your homes with the great wealth you have taken from your enemies, the vast herds of livestock, the silver, gold, bronze, and iron, and the large supply of clothing. Share the plunder with your relatives. So the men of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh left the rest of Israel at Shiloh in the land of Canaan. They started the journey back to their own land of Gilead, the territory that belonged to them according to the Lord's command through Moses. But while they were still in Canaan, and they came to a place called Gileath, near the Jordan River, the men of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh stopped to build a large and imposing altar. The rest of Israel heard that the people of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh had built an altar at Gileath, at the edge of the land of Canaan, on the west side of the Jordan River. So the whole community of Israel gathered at Shiloh and prepared to go to war against them. First, however, they sent a delegation led by Phinehas, son of Eleazar the priest, to talk with the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. In this delegation were 10 leaders of Israel, one from each of the 10 tribes, and each the head of his family with the clans of Israel. When they arrived in the land of Gilead, they said to the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, The whole community of the Lord demands to know, why are you betraying the God of Israel? How could you turn away from the Lord and build an altar for yourselves in rebellion against him? Was our sin at Peor not enough? To this day we are not fully cleansed of it. Even after the plague that struck the entire community of the Lord, and yet today you are turning away from following the Lord. If you rebel against the Lord today, he will be angry with all of us tomorrow. If you need the altar because the land you possess is defiled, then join us in the Lord's land, where the tabernacle of the Lord is situated, and share our land with us. But do not rebel against the Lord or against us by building an altar other than the one true altar of the Lord our God. Didn't divine anger fall on the entire community of Israel when Achan, a member of the clan of Zerah, sinned by stealing the things set apart for the Lord? He was not the only one who died because of his sin. Hi there, Knox. Good to see you. Then the people of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh answered the heads of the clans of Israel. The Lord, the mighty one, is God. The Lord, the mighty one, is God. He knows the truth, and may Israel know it too. We have not built the altar in treacherous rebellion against the Lord. If we have done so, do not spare our lives this day. If we have built an altar for ourselves to turn away from the Lord or offer burnt offerings or grain offerings or peace offerings, may the Lord himself punish us. The truth is, we have built this altar because we fear that in the future your descendants will say to ours, "What right do you have to worship the Lord, the God of Israel?" The Lord has placed the Jordan River as a barrier between our people and you, people of Reuben and Gad, so you have no claim to the Lord. So your descendants may prevent our descendants from worshiping the Lord. So we decided to build this altar not for burnt offerings or sacrifices, but as a memorial. It will remind our descendants and your descendants that we, too, have the right to worship the Lord at his sanctuary, but with our burnt offerings, sacrifices, and peace offerings. Then your descendants will not be able to say to ours, "You have no claim to the Lord." If they say this, our descendants can reply, "Look at this copy of the Lord's altar that our ancestors made. It is not for burnt offerings or sacrifices. It is a reminder of the relationship both of us have with the Lord. Far be it from us to rebel against the Lord or turn away from him by building our own altar for burnt offerings, grain offerings, or sacrifices. Only the altar of the Lord our God that stands in front of the tabernacle may be used for that purpose." When Phinehas the priest and the leaders of the community, the heads of the clans of Israel, heard this from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, they were satisfied. Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the priest, replied to them, "Today we know the Lord is among us, because you have not committed this treachery against the Lord as we thought. Instead, you have rescued Israel from being destroyed by the hand of the Lord." Then Phinehas, son of Eleazar the priest, and the other leaders left the tribes of Reuben and Gad and Gilead, and returned to the land of Canaan to tell the Israelites what had happened. And all the Israelites were satisfied and praised God and spoke no more of war against Reuben and Gad. The people of Reuben and Gad named the altar Witness, for they said, "It is a witness between us and them that the Lord is our God too." The years passed, and the Lord had given the people of Israel rest from all their enemies. Joshua, who was now very old, called together all the elders, leaders, judges, and officers of Israel. He said to them, "I am now very old man. You have seen everything that the Lord your God has done for you during my lifetime. The Lord your God has fought for you against your enemies. I have allotted to you as your homeland all the land of the nations yet unconquered, as well as the land of those we have already conquered, from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. This land will be yours, for the Lord your God will himself drive out all the people living there now. You will take possession of their land, just as the Lord your God promised you. So be very careful to follow everything Moses wrote in the book of instructions. Do not deviate from it, turning either to the right or to the left. Make sure you do not associate with the other people still remaining in the land. Do not even mention the names of their gods, much less swear by them or serve them or worship them. Rather, cling tightly to the Lord your God as you have done until now. For the Lord has driven out great and powerful nations for you, and no one has yet been able to defeat you. Each one of you will put to flight 1,000 of the enemy, for the Lord your God fights for you, just as he has promised. So be very careful to love the Lord your God. But if you turn away from him and cling to the customs of the survivors of these nations remaining among you, and if you intermarry with them, then know for certain that the Lord your God will no longer drive them out of your land. Instead, they will be a snare and a trap to you, a whip for your backs, and thorny brambles in your eyes. And you will vanish from this good land the Lord your God has given you. Soon I will die, going the way of everything on earth. Deep in your hearts, you know that every promise of the Lord your God has come true. Not a single one has failed. But as surely as the Lord your God has given you the good things he promised, he will also bring disaster on you if you disobey him. He will completely destroy you from this good land he has given you. If you break the covenant of the Lord your God by worshiping and serving other gods, his anger will burn against you, and you will quickly vanish from the good land he has given you. Then Joshua summoned all the tribes of Israel to Shechem, including their elders, leaders, judges, and officers. So they came and presented themselves to God. Joshua said to the people, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Long ago, your ancestors, including Terah, the father of Abraham and Nahor, lived beyond the Euphrates River, and they worshipped other gods. But I took your ancestor Abraham from the land beyond the Euphrates and led him into the land of Canaan. I gave him many descendants through his son Isaac. To Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. To Esau I gave the mountains of Seir, while Jacob and his children went down into Egypt. Then I sent Moses and Aaron, and I brought terrible plagues on Egypt. And afterward I brought you out as free people. But when your ancestors arrived at the Red Sea, the Egyptians chased after you with chariots and charioteers. When your ancestors cried out to the Lord, I put darkness between you and the Egyptians. I brought the sea crashing down on the Egyptians, drowning them. With your very own eyes you saw what I did. Then you lived in the wilderness for many years. Finally, I brought you into the land of the Amorites on the east side of the Jordan. They fought against you, but I destroyed them before you. I gave you victory over them, and you took possession of their land. Then Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, started a war against Israel. He summoned Balaam, son of Beor, to curse you, but I would not let him. Instead, I made Balaam bless you, and so I rescued you from Balak. When you crossed the Jordan River and came to Jericho, the men of Jericho fought against you, as did the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Girgashites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. But I gave you victory over them, and I sent terror ahead of you to drive out the 2 kings of the Amorites. It was not your swords or bows that brought you victory. I gave you land you had not worked on. I gave you towns you did not build, the towns where you are now living. I gave you vineyards and olive groves for food, though you did not plant them. So fear the Lord and serve him wholeheartedly. Put away forever the idols your ancestors worshipped when they lived beyond the Euphrates River and in Egypt. Serve the Lord alone. But if you refuse to serve the Lord, then choose today whom you will serve. Would you prefer the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates? Or will it be the gods of the Amorites in whose land you now live? But as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord." The people replied, "We would never abandon the Lord and serve other gods. For the Lord our God is the one who rescued us and our ancestors from slavery in the land of Egypt. He performed mighty miracles before our very eyes as we traveled through the wilderness among our enemies. He preserved us. It was the Lord who drove out the Amorites and the other nations living here in the land. So we too will serve the Lord, for he alone is our God." Then Joshua warned the people, "You are not able to serve the Lord, for he is a holy and jealous God. He will not forgive your rebellion and your sins. If you abandon the Lord and serve other gods, he will turn against you and destroy you, even though he has been so good to you." But the people answered Joshua, "No, we will serve the Lord." "You are a witness to your own decision," Joshua said. "You have chosen to serve the Lord." "Yes," they replied, we are witnesses to what we have said." "All right then," Joshua said, "destroy the idols among you and turn your hearts to the Lord, the God of Israel." The people said to Joshua, "We will serve the Lord our God. We will obey him alone." So Joshua made a covenant with the people that day at Shechem, committing them to follow the decrees and regulations of the Lord. Joshua recorded these things in the book of God's instructions as a reminder of their agreement. He took a huge stone and rolled it beneath the terebinth tree beside the tabernacle of the Lord. Joshua said to all the people, "This stone has heard everything the Lord said to us. It will be a witness to testify against you if you go back on your word to God." Then Joshua sent all the people away to their own homelands. After this, Joshua, son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died at the age of 110. They buried him in the land he had been allocated at Timnath Serah in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gash. The people of Israel served the Lord throughout the lifetime of Joshua and of the elders who outlived him, those who had personally experienced all that the Lord had done for Israel. The bones of Joseph, which the Israelites had brought along with them when they left Egypt, were buried at Shechem in the plot of land Jacob had bought from the sons of Hamor for 100 pieces of silver. This land was located in the territory allocated to the descendants of Joseph. Eleazar, son of Aaron, also died. He was buried in the hill country of Ephraim in the town of Gibeah, which had been given to his son, Phinehas. All right. So today we finish the book of Joshua. And the land of Canaan, the promised land, is now occupied by the Israelites. We have been talking about this land for all the years since we've met Abraham, and God's promise to Abraham that his descendants would live here. Now they're living here, and they're living all over this place from east of the Jordan River all the way to the Mediterranean Sea, and then basically nearly down to Egypt and up to the mountains of Lebanon. So it's a pretty vast area of land. It's been divided up. And a couple things from today's reading. Caleb, son of Jephunneh, is just a great story of remaining faithful through it all. He was one of the 12 spies that was sent into the land a long time ago by Moses. He saw the land, he saw it was great. He was excited to go take the land when he was a young man at 40. But some of the other scouts were too terrified to go take the land based on what they saw. And so they spread bad reports. Caleb was not one of them. He's like, look, we can take it. He just believed that this was the progression that God wanted for them. And so he survived the wilderness for 40 years, just eating the manna and waiting his turn. And man, waiting 45 years for your promise is such a hard thing to think of. I mean, I'm barely over 45 years old. To wait my entire lifetime for a promise given to me from God. And to think, to be able to say what he said today, which is, look, I was 40 years old when this promise was made. I'm 85 now. I'm still as strong and as vigorous and courageous as ever. Man. That is some confidence. That is awesome. That is an incredible testimony to being just sold out and faithful to something that God has promised, regardless of how long it takes. And that really flies in the face of culture today. If you think about it, like, I mean, I'm roughly exactly that age range of time. Life has changed dramatically since I was a little kid. Not just for me, but I'm just saying in general, across our ways of life. Let's just talk about technology that we have today. The fact that we're doing this, the computers, the internets, people didn't have personal computers when I was born. That was a that wasn't even like on the radar. Phones had, if you had a phone, you had, a rotary dial typically and a long cord that you attached to the wall. Um, you had to remember all these numbers. You had different types of numbers you dialed for different places. Sometimes you had to dial just 7 digits. Sometimes you had to dial 11 digits. And you had to do it all in this little rotary dial. Eventually, they had push buttons. And what's up? What's up there, Sean? Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, area codes were different, right? Times have changed in 45 years. And this guy is saying, look, it's been 45 years, and I'm just as strong and vigorous as ever. I mean, obviously, I'm bigger and stronger than I was when I was one and born. Um, but I don't feel as vigorous and strong even now as I did 15 years ago. Yeah, I mean, and like our culture is so different than it was 45 years ago. Our lives are so different. And to think, if you wanted something back in the day, I guess they had malls where you could get stuff, but it took time to acquire something. Man, it takes you 25 minutes to get something now. You go on Amazon, you order it, and in a lot of places, you can get that thing delivered within 2 or 3 hours to your house without you even leaving, without just you clicking a couple buttons. Uh, and then, yeah, like video games weren't even a concept, right? We didn't have computers, we didn't have video games. I mean, we had like arcades back in the day where you played pinball, right? And then eventually you had like, what was it, that Pong that came out around that time frame? Okay, video games are crazy today. And okay, so where am I going with all this, right? Are your dreams the same? Most of us, um, are your dreams and visions not changing based on what happens through time? In 40 years, will you still have the same dream, the same hope and aspiration that you have today? Because you know this is what God wants from you, and you are steadfast to get it and wait for it. Because there's a promise that you received. Maybe today you received the promise. Maybe 10 years ago you received it, and you still got to wait 35 years for it to transpire. I mean, I'll just be honest. That is going to be very, very, very hard for me. I have been infected by culture I live in for sure, and that is what he's saying today. Don't be like the people from this land. Don't be like them. Be steadfast in love and serve the Lord. And so, this thing, this concept of loving and serving God transcends time, transcends culture, transcends space, transcends all these things that we have really grown accustomed to. So, as you're saying there, you have to give up stuff to let in room for new stuff. For sure. For sure. Right? But if you're just in the process of always giving up stuff for the new stuff, this stuff the Lord, his ways, his ideas serving him is not new. It's old. And it is tried and true through the ages. So you have to hold on to that beyond what culture does. And that is really hard in today's society. Yeah, I agree. Your perspectives need to shift. Well, they need to keep you focused on what matters most. And that's what these stories of the Bible are. What matters most is our relationship to God, to serve Him, to love Him. And all these other things that culturally come and go, they're going to come and go. They're going to come and go. But are you taking time for yourself? 6-7, it's come and gone. Man, it was so popular. I mean, kids these days, their attention span is 12 seconds, right? No, I mean, that's too long, I guess they say, right? 5 seconds is how long they watch a video on average, 7 seconds. But to be focused on something for 40 years, that it's always there, it's always pertinent to you, you never lose hope in it. Okay, it's an opportunity to really think about slowing down in this culture for us. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I think that's what Caleb's showing us here. The resolve to do that and to just wait and hear and be present to God's still present even if you don't get the the promised victory in this world even, or the promised thing. He's still present, and to just stay in tune with that and know that it's coming. So I'm going to keep myself strong. Man, I got to get back on my workouts. I got to feel strong in my life. Eat well. Yeah, I get it. I get it. We all need a detox, right? We all need to let go of things so that we give space for that which matters most. And that's hard. It's hard to do. So, good for sharing. And all we can do is take the next step forward in doing it, right? Because the promise is so much better on the other side. We are creatures of habit. Man, we are creatures of habit. And that, look, if if you weren't here for the beginning part, the creatures of habit is such an important element that we heard for 40 years in the wilderness. They didn't know anything else but what to do as slaves. And then eventually you become like you learn in life to accept your lot, and then you kind of become accustomed to it, and then eventually all these people that were slaves in Egypt got freed and they didn't know what to do. And they keep complaining about it was better for us as slaves because you're accustomed to that life. And the same is true in our lives. Like if we're loving alcohol and using that as a crutch in our life for like to drink all the time to drown out whatever. Okay? And I'm not making this like you're bad or anything. It's just we get so accustomed to it, right? We get accustomed to that lifestyle that if we can get free, but then we don't know what to do when we're free. And so we're like, well, it was just better back then, so let's just go back. Really? You were a slave to alcohol. You were a slave to the internet. You were a slave to uh popularity. You were a slave to whatever. Like you can just put da 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 in there, right? Like that's not what God wanted for those people. Is not what He wants for us. He wants us to be free, and it took. They couldn't get it. They couldn't get it. People can't get it a lot of times. They keep wanting to go back, and eventually God got tired of them and said, "Fine, I'll wait till the next generation." God has all the time in the world. He created time. He can just wait. It teaches us to wait. And Caleb was good at waiting. And so the journey might be hard. The journey might be hard. It's okay. Let's take that spirit of Caleb that was so faithful and just hopeful and try to live into that in our own lives. And yeah, because the stories going forward, man, we're just going to see the back and forth, as we go forth from here. Yeah, we are lucky to be here, for sure. We're lucky to be here. Sometimes we have to accept where we are now, whatever that looks like, whatever holes we dug ourselves into, and then just walk it out little step by little step, being grateful of the tiny progress we make, knowing we're gonna go back and forth, and that's what you'll see. We're just gonna keep going. Like, this is the story of the Bible, is people going back and forth between loving and serving God and then just doing whatever they want. That's true. The sperm that made you was the fastest, right? That little tiny speck of semen that got you. You won the marble race. You didn't get yeeted. Nice job, Knox. Nice job. Okay. That was good. Good discussion points. So thank you guys for thank you for thank you for your comments and the back and forth. That's what makes it great when you guys come and just, share your hearts. That's what we want to do. So I'm going to be reminded to slow down, to really take in some of the things that God wants me to, and and to walk in those promises. Yeah, I mean, we all have stories of great overcoming and places where we've been rescued, and yeah, we've all had incredible stories, I'm sure, of things. So, slipped on a fence as a kid. Ouch. Ouch. All right, for those who weren't here Friday, so we're no longer doing Thursday Bible story time. It switched to Friday, so my wife can have this area. Boys do stupid things, Acebla. It's just the nature of what we do. I mean, um, and yeah, I think it's just in our natural DNA to do stupid things. Like, we wouldn't walk outside, around the fence to go get the home run ball. We want to be heroic. There's this desire to be heroic in us, just like Caleb was today. And sometimes we do stupid things in that journey. It's just, I mean, and sometimes we do it because we want to impress others. Uh, I mean, we're just people. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. So, we'll be back on Tuesday and then on Friday, not on Thursday anymore. So, I know that's been a switch to the thing. I'm going to try to update my schedule on the stream there. Use the gate. Very, very good. Very good. So, oh man. So that said, thank you guys for being here. I will be back with you guys. Then I'll probably be back for a session later. I've had to I paused playing for a couple days, mostly because I had to do taxes yesterday. That was so much fun, and wanted to spend some time with the family. Oh, whoa! Look who this is! Hi, Global Poker Live. Wow. Hello. Welcome. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We didn't even know if anyone operated it anymore, but it's great to see you. Hope you are well. You see 10 people? Knox. Come on. It's probably not like, it's probably late in the day for you guys. Probably, I don't even know. I think you're, how many hours ahead are you in the day? I mean, you're already, you're not in tomorrow, huh? It's got to be pretty late. Sean probably could go on forever of just the silly things he's done, huh? Falling. Yeah. You never know. We hope Global will be back. We hope everyone will be able to play again in some way or another. But we hold out hope, right? Even if it takes 45 years, we hold out hope. We'll be the old people and the walkers coming to the Global Poker Live party. Okay. We hope. We hope that's the case. Hopefully we'll see. Hopefully they'll do a meetup again. We hope that as well. So, all right. Anyways, we all hope for the best. That's all we can do. We hope for the best. Forget the rest, and move forward. I will see you guys again later. Love you all.